everybody, welcome to Aurora Graphics. My name's Grant Dorsey, and today I thought we'd do a tutorial on how to use our snake crushing a vehicle file. It's one of the few layered files that we offer, and we get questions a lot about how to create a look like there is some sort of fill getting crushed. So like if you're, for instance in this one we're going to use the airplane skin. You could use tank skin, other things like that or whatever. The main thing you want to keep in mind is that when you choose a pattern that you're wanting to fill in this gray area, if it's too busy, you'll lose all of this crushing look. So like something that's real busy, like an asphalt pattern, or if it's super tight pattern, it's gonna do better. But the more busy, essentially the more busy the pattern, the less you're gonna get the effect of the crushing. Just to start off with here, the top layer is just the snake, and then if I turn off the snake and turn on the back layer, you can see that it's actually the complete graphic. So if you want, you can use this as a selection area to mask off this background layer if you need to for some reason in your designs, but I'll show you it's unnecessary if you're just going to go for a quick put a fill in the background and throw it on your template. So the other thing I wanted to show you too, here, let me deselect this. If you notice, this is the top file, and these are going to match up over the roof of the vehicle. And so what you need to keep in mind, let me move these forward, is that whenever you're going to match these up, is that you need to make sure you can see the width of the snake body is the same. You need to make sure that you write down how far you scale the side graphics so that you can scale the top graphic exactly the same. Either that or just drag them into the same file and scale them all at the same time. And that'll make sure that your snake body is the same size on the top and the sides of the vehicle. For now, we're just going to grab the two side files. So I'm going to select them both by holding Control and clicking on the two layers. Then we're going to drag them into our vehicle template here. You can see this graphic looks like it's way bigger than a van, when in fact it's actually about the size for this van, or maybe a little bit larger, so you could do a bus with it. This template's just not accurate to scale. It's about half size or something like that. Anyway, so I'm going to start shrinking this down, and what I want to end up with is the tail behind the wheel well, so it doesn't look like the snake's getting cut off in there. And then I also want this body in front of the wheel well. And I might actually do a little rotating as well. If you end up with a little bit of the body hanging off, it's not super horrible into the wheel well there, but the closer that you can get to keeping it on the vehicle, the better off you're going to be. And you notice from the side here, it looks like the bodies are cutting off. And that's so whenever the top file meets up with it, it's not like the body rounded and ended. It's going to go ahead and butt right up. So that's looking pretty good. I've got it about where I can get as much on the vehicle as I can. And so this is going to be critical when you go to install this. And so the odds are, if you have something that's got a ton of curves to it, like a Volkswagen Beetle or something, you're not going to be able to make this work. And the reason why is that the vertical scaling here, where you have to chop off for the body to go ahead and land in the correct place to meet up with the top file, if you don't estimate the compound curve, how much curvature is to that vehicle while you're doing your scaling, you're going to come up short. So, I mean, you're going to have to be super accurate with that measurement, and it's difficult to do. So I would suggest until you're getting really good at laying out your wraps for compound curves and things like that, I would try to use something like this on a flat, a bus side, or like this Chevy van here. So once you like your transform, we may even be able to get a little bit more showing on the bottom. There we go. And now you can see I'm keeping his full tail on there, and I'm keeping his full body on there, and but we don't have much overlap. So Again, that's why I would suggest using this on a fairly square or rectangular shaped vehicle. So the next thing we'll want to do is grab a fill here. You can see this is the Airplane Skin 3. I'm going to go ahead and drag that into our template, and again I'm going to have to scale it down because it's way bigger than the template. And one thing I like to do with graphics like this is go ahead and if the bottom of your template is perfectly flat and level, which you can check that by pulling out a guide. My rulers weren't showing there. I just hit Control and the letter R to get my rulers to show. And so I can pull out a guide here and see if the bottom of my van's pretty flat. And it looks like it's angled forward just slightly, but just for aesthetics, I'm going to angle this airplane skin just slightly as well. So it looks like it's following the body lines a little better. And then I'm going to drop this back behind my snake layer. You can see I've got the snake in front of it now, but none of the shadows are coming through and you can't see any of the crushed vehicle parts. So the next thing that we're going to do is just switch our blending option here to overlay, and that's on the airplane skin. Now if you notice, if I turn all of this other stuff off, I've got just the background layer. Well, you can even see right here, like the airplane skin is actually darker on the outside edge around this color. And so what we need to do is turn off our airplane skin here. I'm going to use this eyedropper tool and select this color, and then I'm going to get a new layer and move it to the back, and Control Backspace will fill this layer with that color. And now we can merge these together. Control E will do that. Also layer, merge layers, but it's not selectable right now because I only have one layer selected. Anyway, so when we turn our airplane skin back on and turn this off, you can see the color difference. And so what we want is to try to make it this color with this underlying layer still part of it. And so what I'm going to do is, with this layer selected with the snake, let's go ahead and turn our other snake back on too so you don't get confused. And the reason why this is on a separate layer is for this exact maneuver we're getting ready to do. So under image adjustments, we're going to go to our levels. This is one of the handiest tools there is. And what I'm going to do is, with this open, see, I can see my airplane skin over here. I'm going to grab this white slider and start coming off of the white. And once we get about to the right darkness for this, where it looks like it used to, we'll go ahead and click OK. You can play with these if you want to darken up your wrinkles or lighten them up, things like that. If you do a test print and it doesn't show enough for you, you can come in here and darken this up again later, and without affecting too much of your airplane skin. So when you like it, go ahead and click OK. And essentially that's it. You can see if I turn my template on, it looks a little dark. But again, because that's just a solid color pretty much back there, you can come in here and add back more white and get some of that look back, and really dial it in however you'd like. I'm going to add a layer style here. Go ahead and change the blending option to multiply, and then you can come in here and move this color around to anything that you want. If you'd like, you can also get rid of the airplane skin, and if you wanted to make it just a solid color vehicle, it'd be easy enough just to use a color overlay on this. And playing with these blending options to get the exact color that you're looking for. Maybe you want to play with the opacity. That's up to you. Again, if you need to lighten this up, or adjust how harsh the wrinkles are coming through, all you've got to do is go back into your levels tool and adjust that gray. So that's about it on using the snake crushing a vehicle file, guys. I really appreciate you joining me. Keep your eyes peeled. We're getting a new server. This is October of 2017. If you're watching this somewhere around that date, we're getting a new server coming up real soon, and we've got a ton of artwork we've been waiting on this new server to upload. So we're gonna have a bunch of new fish and a bunch of new sign blanks, some more abstract stuff coming out. So keep your eyes peeled for that. I really appreciate you joining me. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button if you like the videos. We'll be putting out more here shortly. Thanks again. See you next time.